Hey everyone. Have you ever wished you could have like an HR expert like available all the time? Someone who could answer any question about policy or benefits or even like handle things like, leave requests? Well, you can. It's a thing called an autonomous HR agent.
Yeah, and these AI-powered chatbots are changing the way HR works, and we're gonna take a deep dive into how they work.
All right, so we dug into this project on GitHub. It's called Autonomous HR Chatbot. And get this, it's a working model built with some pretty cutting-edge AI tools.
Yeah, you might have heard of some of these: ChatGPT, LangChain, Pinecone, Streamlit.
Wow. Yeah, those are big names.
And the cool thing is it's open source. That means anybody can actually see the code, understand how it works, even contribute to it.
So it's kind of like a peek behind the curtain of how this AI magic is happening.
Exactly. So how about we break it down? Like, how does this chatbot really work?
Yeah. How about you walk us through it?
Okay, so it all starts with your HR policy documents, all those rules and guidelines.
Yeah, they can be pretty dense sometimes.
Yeah. Right. So these documents are fed to the AI, which then uses this technique called embeddings to kind of understand the content.
Embeddings. That
It-
sounds complicated.
It's actually pretty cool. Imagine each word and phrase in the document is transformed into like a unique code, like a fingerprint that captures its meaning.
Oh, I get it. So it's not just reading the words, it's understanding what they mean.
Exactly. And these fingerprints, or embeddings, they're stored in this special database called a vector database, in this case, Pinecone.
Okay, I'm picturing like a super organized filing system for AI.
That's a great analogy. So when you ask the chatbot a question, let's say like, how many sick days do I have left? It doesn't just like scan for keywords.
It actually understands what you're asking.
Right. It uses the meaning embedded in your question to find the most relevant part of the HR policy and give you a precise answer.
That's really smart. So it's like having a mini HR expert in your pocket.
Exactly. And here's where it gets even more interesting. This chatbot isn't limited to just like pulling information from documents.
Oh, what else can it do?
It can actually interact with the real-time data. The project shows this with a sample employee data file, like a spreadsheet with names, supervisors, leave balances.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the policy, it can actually look at your specific situation.
Exactly. So if you ask, how many vacation days do I have left, it doesn't just tell you the policy, it looks at your actual data, your personal data.
Wow. No more waiting for HR to check manually.
Yep, that's right. And this whole system is kind of brought together by this framework called LangChain.
LangChain. What does that do?
Think of it like the conductor of an orchestra. It makes sure all these components, ChatGPT, Pinecone, and the data tools all work together.
So it's like the glue that holds it all together.
Exactly. And what's really cool about LangChain is that it's modular. You can easily swap out components or add new ones. So it's really flexible.
So it's not just a one-size-fits-all solution.
Yeah.
You can customize it for different needs.
Exactly.
That is really impressive.
It really shows how you can take these AI tools that are out there and combine them to make something that's both innovative and practical.
Okay, so we've talked about the techie side. Now let's get down to what this actually means for organizations and employees. Like, how could they really use this?
Well, for one, think about all those repetitive tasks that take up so much time.
Yeah, things like answering the same questions over and over again.
Right. Or manually processing leave requests or updating employee records. An AI agent can handle that stuff.
So it frees up HR to focus on the more strategic stuff.
Exactly. And because the agent has access to all the policies, it can give consistent and accurate answers. No more inconsistencies or errors.
Which is a huge relief for HR, I'm sure, but it's not just about efficiency, right?
No, it's also about improving the employee experience. Like, imagine you need information about something, benefits, or how to file a report. Instead of digging through documents or waiting for an email, you just ask the chatbot. You get an answer anytime, day or night.
It's like having a personalized HR desk available 24/7. That's going to make a difference for employees, especially remote workers.
Absolutely. And remember that real-time data integration we talked about?
Yeah, where it can look up your personal information.
Right. Imagine being able to ask, when's my next paycheck? And getting an immediate answer. Or requesting time off and having it approved automatically.
Wow, that is a game changer. No more back and forth emails or waiting for approvals.
Exactly. And as these agents get more advanced, they can even provide personalized recommendations and support.
Like a digital HR partner that's always learning and adapting to your needs.
That's the idea. And we're just scratching the surface of what's possible. So before, we were talking about how these autonomous HR agents can really handle those day-to-day tasks and give you that instant access to information, but there's so much more they can do.
Yeah, we touched on this idea of personalized recommendations,
Yeah.
right? Like it's exciting to think about how that could actually work.
Well, imagine an employee wants to develop some new skills, right? Instead of having to search through tons of training materials or wait for their manager to tell them what to do, they could just ask the agent, you know?
Like, hey, I want to learn about data analysis. What resources are available? Like that.
Exactly. And the agent having access to, the employee's role and skills and career goals, it could recommend specific courses or workshops or even mentorship opportunities, tailored to their needs.
It's like having a personal career coach right there in the system.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. And this personalization can go even further. Think about onboarding new hires. Instead of just having a generic process, the AI could create a tailored onboarding experience for each person.
So like a new sales rep would get different onboarding materials than someone in engineering.
Right, exactly. The agent could give them specific information, connect them with the right people, and even suggest initial projects that fit their skills.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yay.
And it would make new hires feel more welcome and supported right from the start.
Yeah, definitely. Which is so important for keeping employees engaged and, making them want to stay with the company.
For sure. And as the agent interacts with the employee over time, it can keep learning and provide even better recommendations.
Exactly. It's like having a digital HR partner that's always evolving to meet your needs.
Okay, so this all sounds very futuristic. Are there any real world examples of companies using this kind of AI in HR today?
Oh, absolutely. While this specific project that we looked at is like a demonstration, there are lots of companies using AI for HR stuff already.
What kind of companies?
All kinds. Big companies are using AI for things like recruiting and talent management, while smaller companies are using chatbots for those basic HR questions and support.
So it's not just for those big companies with tons of money, it's something everyone can benefit from.
Exactly. And as AI becomes more accessible and affordable, I think we'll see even more companies using it across different industries.
But what about the human element? Like, if AI is handling so many tasks, are HR departments just going to shrink or disappear?
That's a question a lot of people have, but I don't think that's going to happen. I actually think AI will make HR professionals even more important.
How so?
Well, think about it. By automating those routine tasks, AI frees up HR professionals to focus on the stuff that really needs a human touch. Things like empathy building relationships, strategic thinking.
So instead of being bogged down with emails and paperwork, they can focus on creating a good company culture, supporting employee development, and, those bigger picture things.
Exactly. AI can be like the engine, but humans are still the ones steering the ship, making sure everything runs smoothly.
So it's not about AI taking over. It's about AI and humans working together.
Exactly. And as AI continues to develop, we'll see even more opportunities for HR to evolve and become even more impactful.
This is really fascinating stuff. It's clear that AI is going to have a big impact on the future of HR.
There's no doubt about it. And it's an exciting time to be involved in this field.
So what can people do to get ready for this future of HR?
The most important thing is to be open to change. AI is not here to replace us. It's here to help us work better.
So don't be afraid of it. See it as an opportunity.
Exactly. An opportunity to get rid of those boring tasks and focus on the work that really matters.
For HR professionals, this means learning new skills, right? Like understanding data and AI and how to manage change.
Right. It's about becoming comfortable working with AI and using it to make smarter decisions.
And for employees, it's about being open to that personalized support that AI can offer.
Don't be afraid to ask your HR chatbot questions. Seek guidance and take advantage of the resources it can provide.
And remember, AI is constantly changing. So stay curious. Keep learning.
The future of HR is bright, and the people who adapt and embrace the change are going to be the ones who thrive.
Absolutely. Well said. So the key takeaway here is that autonomous HR agents are not just some futuristic dream. They're here now, and they have the power to change the workplace as we know it.
It's an exciting time, and we can't wait to see what the future holds.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of AI and HR. We'll see you next time. So we've been talking about all this potential with autonomous HR agents, like how they can really change the way HR works.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in, right? From handling all those tasks to providing more personalized support for employees, and even things like helping with employee well-being.
It seems like this tech is really going to have a huge impact on the future of HR. So what does all this mean for companies and for people? What can they do to, get ready for this AI-powered future of HR?
Well, the first thing is to be open to change. I know change can be kind of scary, but AI isn't here to replace people.
Right, it's about working together.
Exactly. It's about helping us work smarter and more effectively. So instead of thinking of AI as a threat, think of it as an opportunity.
An opportunity to, like, get rid of those boring tasks and actually focus on the work that's more interesting and important.
Exactly. For HR professionals, this means like developing some new skills, things like data analysis, understanding AI, and being good at managing change.
So it's about being comfortable working with AI and using it to make better decisions.
Right. And for employees, it's about, being open to the personalized support that AI can offer.
Like not being afraid to use that HR chatbot, asking questions, getting guidance, using those resources that are available.
Exactly. And remember, AI is always evolving, so keep learning and stay curious.
It sounds like the future of HR is going to be pretty exciting.
It really is. The people who adapt and embrace these changes are going to be the ones who really succeed.
So what's the one big takeaway you want our listeners to remember today?
That autonomous HR agents aren't just something out of science fiction. They're real, they're here now, and they have the potential to change the way we work in a big way.
So it's time to buckle up and get ready for the ride. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of AI and HR. We'll catch you next time.